Okay, hello, my Healy friends and family. Okay, welcome to Frequency Network. Thank you for joining me today on the very first episode or session in 2025. Yeah, so I wish you a very happy new year. I hope you are excited to start the new year. And in this picture here, you see the hands, the palms holding the entire world in your hands. I think that is what we want, right? So to have the whole world in your hands. Okay. Thank you, Jetto. Yeah. Okay. So this year we are having it slightly differently because myself and Petra Tizat will still be sharing. So we are alternating to have our sessions for this entire year. Okay, so for those who do not know me, allow me to share a little bit about myself, my background. Okay, so that you know a little bit more about myself. Yeah, so I have been an energy profiling life coach since 2017. So I started off using a much bigger machine, which is about the size of the laptop and 10 cm thick, totally not portable, and everything is manual. So I've been doing that for about 8 years, and I strongly believe in the energy modality as a way, as a form to actually harmonize the bioenergetic and the information field. Yeah. So through that experience, it really helped me to appreciate our Healy device a lot more. Okay. Because everything I had to do was manual. Selection of the frequency is manual. I have to sit down there with my clients and click every frequency and wait for the vibration, you know. So I so appreciate our Healy here because everything is automated. So I have the very first thing that I do is when I get my Healy device, which is 3 years ago, is actually to compare, you know, the analysis result of the big machine as well as the small Healy device. So I find that the results are comparable and accurate. Okay, so now I actually stopped using the big machines and I just rely solely on my Healy and my MagHealy devices, okay? Because after the results are accurate, only that is phrased slightly differently, and after analyzing about more than 500 clients, I can fully trust the Healy and the MagHealy analysis report. Yeah, so I have transited fully to just using these small devices, okay? Yeah, so my background before I enrolled into energy profiling, I was a A-level biology educator since 1997, still teaching, okay? And it's a passion, it's my interest, and the knowledge from biology also helped me as well, okay? Because it helps me to understand the cells, it helped me to understand human physiology. So as I look at the energy profile and understand the human health, so I get a bigger picture of what is going on. Yeah. And I'm also trained in meridian acupuncture, 5-element system. So I look at a person in a more holistic manner, and that is what I believe. Okay, so since 2011, I have started a different form of education, wellness education, teaching adults and helping people to regain their health. And now with the Healy device, it's not just regaining our health, it's also all aspects, our mental health, okay, our career, our relationships. Basically, Healy to me is like a remote control. You know, I call it a remote control of life. So I have the aircon controller here. So we just press and control the room temperature. So here I find that the Healy device and my handphone, they are like remote control of life. Okay, if you're unhappy, you press certain programs and then you're happy again. So today we are going to talk and share about what? about abundance, about prosperity. So can the Healy and the MagHealy remote control actually bring us more abundance and more wealth into our life this year? Okay, so this is what I'm going to share with you. I divide this session with you over 4 parts. The first part, I'm going to talk about the Healy Dr. Habdank, or we call it the Abundance Program. Okay, and then the second part, we are going to talk about the power of the MagHealy Prosperity Program. And then after that, how to apply all this and how it works in our life, how it does the magic, so to say. And then finally, what are the possible outcomes that we can expect, yeah, from using the Healy and the MagHealy, and how it's going to bring a lot more prosperity and abundance into our lives this year. Okay, so disclaimer, so everybody must know this, that the intention of this session is to share my experience from using Healy and the MagHealy devices. So do not believe everything that I share here without applying discretion. Okay, so we are using microcurrent and frequency. They are not drugs. They are energy forms used to harmonize and balance the bioenergetic field and the information field of a person. So please do your own due diligence before using the Healy and the MagHealy devices. So no one, okay, no one but you, okay, bear the risk and the responsibility of the outcomes, yeah? Okay, so the first thing is misconception or the misconception about using Healy, the Abundance Program, as well as the MagHealy Prosperity Program. I have users who tell me, it does not work. I've used it, but I don't feel or I don't see anything happening. And what people might expect is the moment you turn it on, people is going to come to you and give you a stack of money, or you're going to win some big Toto first prize and all that. It does not happen that way. Now, if it may happen to 1 or 2 or a few handful of individuals, but it does not happen to everyone in that way. All right. So if it happens that way, then there's something is really wrong, and we shouldn't be engaging in this kind of devices. Okay, so today we are going to talk a little bit about the science, have some understanding exactly what the program actually do and how it can actually enhance our abundance, our sense of abundance and prosperity. Okay, so this is the example that I've never forgotten ever since Dr. Michael Chen shared with us. These are ancient coins, the Chinese coins, the ancient coins is a ring, circle like this, and then there's a hole in the middle. So he said that this is the typical look of the Healy and the MagHealy when you put them together on top of each other. Okay, so I remember that analogy ever since then. Okay, yeah. So these are the Chinese coins, and Chinese New Year is around the corner, and the Chinese community is so engrossed in making money and all that, So in certain shops, you will see this kind of objects sitting at the cash counter, and the frog like this will be holding to all these coins, ancient coins in a mouth. So these are symbolic of attraction of money. Now, in some other shops, you will see all these, the money cat sitting down there and waving their hand like this, like a cash register. Okay, yeah. So after this, I hope that if you're a business owner, so you can place the MagHealy at your cash counter, okay, to how to say, to change or to influence the energy around your cash register, okay, at the payment counter, yeah, instead of using devices like this. So this can be something that you can place there to attract more sales. All right. Okay, now let's start. Now, I think before we talk so much about the program, we all need to have the aligned understanding about abundance and prosperity. Okay, so when we talk about abundance, we are talking about an internal state. It's a feeling of plentiful and content. This has nothing to do with whether you are rich, you're a millionaire, or you have according to your measurements, not enough and all that. So it's nothing to do with how much you have, but how you feel about whatever that you have. So you can still feel that you have enough. Okay, you can still be generous, you can still be contented. You know that although you do not have the amount that you desire yet, but out there is a lot. So it's not scarce, and therefore it's a matter of time that the money, the wealth can actually come to you. So you can still have a sense of richness and gratitude. Okay, not limited to just money alone, but you look at your family, you look at your relationships with people, your friends, your experiences, your ability to still grow and expand yourself. Yeah. So all these constitute that feeling of abundance. You know that you are not limited and you are not fixed in your current state. All right, so there is room for change and expansion. So you feel that there is a lot of abundance out there that is not limited. So there's no competition, and all these things can come into your life when you actually vibrate at a higher energy level. Okay, now prosperity is about how much of this that you get to keep. Can you hold your money? Can you hold your abundance? Okay, so we can earn a lot, but sometimes people say the money U-turn, the money make a U-turn, come in only go out already. There will be some expenses somewhere that will cause your money to be leaked and to be to go out of your pocket. Yeah. So prosperity is something that you measure, something that you achieve. So you can actually see, okay, how many houses you have, how many cars you have, yeah, or in some cases, how many animals you have. Okay, so yeah. So this is prosperity. So it's a state of success. It is the level that you compare yourself to others. Yeah. So how much happiness you have, good health you have, how much financial gain, property, etc., etc. So it is more measurable. Okay. So anyone can actually feel that sense of abundance. Okay, but when it comes to the quantity, okay, so this takes time for us to actually build. Okay, so don't expect that when we vibrate the MagHealy and the Healy, people will just come walking to you and give you a stack of cash, a big check and all that. No. So ultimately, how is the money or the wealth going to come? Ultimately, it's still us. Okay. So Healy and MagHealy here is supposed to be working on us. Okay, ourselves. Okay, so if you have the Healy, and you will have with you your Doktor Habdank GPT program in your MagHealy. I would request for you to turn it on right now so that when I talk about the frequency, you can actually see on the screen beside you, okay, exactly what is going on there. All right. So go to your expert area, turn on the Doktor Habdank program if you have it. Okay. All right. Now, when you turn it on, you're going to see a bunch of numbers on the screen. Okay. So these are frequencies, and these frequencies that you're going to see, okay, constitute one part of it. There are a few types of category of this frequency, which I will mention, but part of it, some of it are called the brain waves. Okay, brain waves. Where do you get all these brain waves? So our brain, while it is functioning, actually sends out or produces frequencies, normal frequencies. Okay, so these frequencies that we are going to see later on in Healy, they are not foreign to the body, all right? So they are actually being produced naturally by our brain throughout the day. So what we can see here are different types of brain waves. So you have the delta and the theta. So these two are produced by the brain when we are asleep. Okay, when we are sleeping, when we are asleep, the brain actually slows down, calms down, and therefore the frequencies are lower. Now, right now, while I'm giving the talk here like this, so my brain is producing a lot of beta frequencies as well as gamma frequencies. So the words here in short, beta means you are awake, you are doing work, you need to have the focus. Gamma is when you need to have insight to solve problems, to think, to integrate and all that. So these two types of frequencies will be dominating. All right. Yeah. Now, then you have the alpha. The alpha is somewhere in between. So twice a day, our brain produces a lot of alpha. So in the morning, when you are about to wake up, that means when you're going up in this direction here. So in the morning, before you open your eyes and before you become fully awake, there will be a zone where you are in a dreamy state, drifting towards consciousness. Okay, so that is the period of time where your brain actually produces alpha waves. And then at night, when you are about to drift into the sleep mode, okay, when you are falling asleep, when you close your eyes and you are going to fall asleep, that is also the period of time where it will also be producing some alpha waves during that period of time. Okay. Yeah. So what we are doing now when we run the programs here, the Habdank programs, we are actually, the Healy device is actually sending out some of these brain waves to resonate and to communicate with our brain. Okay, so I'm going to show you all these numbers. I don't expect you to memorize them, okay? And don't be intimidated by them. We are here to just make sense out of what we see on the screen when the program is running. So for me, I'm a very green personality. I analyze. So what I do is I stare at the screen for hours, looking at the programs, writing them down, taking notes, and see what is happening as the program is running. Okay, so now there's a whole range of frequencies here. So it's grouped according to their frequency range. So starting from 0.1, okay, to 0.5, yeah. So these are called the epsilon waves, okay, epsilon. So this is even much deeper than the theta that we saw earlier. Then after that will be the delta, 0.5 to 4 hertz. So when you see 0.6, 0.8, 1 to 2.7, these are the delta waves. So the frequency actually run in this sequence. It's fixed. Every time you run the program, you will see 0.1 first, 0.4, and then it went to 0.6, 0.8, 1, 1.3, 2.7. And then after that, it went to 5.5, 7.4. Okay, these are the theta brain waves. And then after the theta, you have the alpha, which is the 9 hertz. And then after that will be the beta, 13 hertz. And then after that will be the gamma. So you see there are a lot of gamma waves. Okay, so this is for your waking moments. While you are awake, these are the frequencies that will help your brain to function. Okay, so it will improve your cognitive functions, 33, 37, 38, 56, until 94. Okay, so they will be here, gamma waves. Then we even have one which which is not listed earlier in the table. These are the lambda waves. Okay, certain lambda waves. These will give you the the extraordinary, much deeper insight when you want to learn something or discover something. Okay, so that will be the lambda waves. Okay, so I will stop here up to the lambda waves. So remember, it's from 0.1 to 200. Later on, I'll continue with the other range. Okay, so here we are going to talk about this series of brain waves first. Yeah, so just now we started from epsilon here below the delta, then the delta, theta, and then the alpha, beta, gamma, and then the lambda over here. Okay, so these are waves. sent by the Healy device when you run the program to actually resonate and communicate with the brain to enhance the conscious and the subconscious mind. Okay, so it will actually improve our cognitive function. Yeah, so I will run through with you a little bit about the brain functions, and therefore how does all these things play out together to help us to actually enable ourselves to actually earn more, okay, increase our wealth and our prosperity later on. Okay, I'll draw the connection, but I'll talk first a little bit about the brain. So all these frequencies will be communicating with different parts of the brain. Okay, so okay, so this is the brain cortex. So the brain, there's an outer layer of tissue, and then after that there is the inner layer of tissue. So we talk about the outer layer of tissue here. So the front part over here is called the frontal lobe. Okay, so this part here all the way up to here, this is the frontal lobe. So this part of the brain actually helps us with our speech, our communication, our concentration and focus, yeah, our ability to solve problems, make decisions, make judgment, evaluate. So it's this part, the front part of the brain, yeah, our personality as well. Okay, then you have this green portion here. This is the occipital lobe. So it's for vision, it's for our colors. And then after that, you have this yellow region here. This is called the parietal lobe. This is for our 5 senses, sensory stimuli that we receive from the environment. Okay, our sense of direction, orientation, our reading, writing is all here. Then you have the temporal lobe. This is part here. This is the temporal lobe, the light blue region here. Okay, so this is for our ability to communicate in language, our memory, our feelings, our hearing as well. So it's at this part of the head. Yeah. So then you have the internal part, okay, which is actually hidden by the external tissue. Okay, and this part of the brain tissue is called the limbic system. So the limbic system here, if you use the MagHealy, in the MagHealy, McMakin programs, there's one program which is called the brain, and then there is another one called the thalamus. Now, why is the brain separated into brain and thalamus if it's one component? So when in McMakin, when you talk about the brain, basically is this part, is working on this part, okay? The outer tissues, the cognitive functions, okay? How intelligent you are. Now, then there is a special program just for the thalamus. So now when the program is structured this way, it's hinting and telling you that this thalamus is actually very, very important. Okay, now what is the thalamus? I call the thalamus the CPU of the brain. So in the computer, there is a central processing unit, which is the CPU. Okay, so now what happens is the capacity of the thalamus is the one that controls the cognitive function. Okay, so a lot of the information that we receive from the external stimuli, from what we see, what we read, what we hear, everything, all the information will actually be channeled towards the thalamus. So the thalamus is the gatekeeper of information. Okay, gatekeeper of information. That means what the brain do after receiving all this information lies in the speed, in the capacity of the thalamus. Okay, so this portion here, this structure here, this is the thalamus. Then you have the amygdala, 8 here. This yellow thing, this is called the amygdala. Now, the amygdala controls our emotions, okay? So when we respond to fear, when we are anxious, when we are aggressive, okay? So these are the primitive part of the brain. So these are the primitive, less rational, less thinking, instinctive kind of responses, okay? Is due to the control of the amygdala here. All right, so all your emotional memory, your trauma, all that is here. When you respond to stress, your fight or your flight response is decided here. Okay, it all takes place here at the amygdala. Okay, then you have the hippocampus. This part here is the hippocampus. This is for long-term memory, for spatial memory, social cognition. How do you behave in public? Okay, so so normally when we go to a new place, what happens is we look around and see how other people are behaving. So if people are having fun, dancing and all that, so we become less inhibited. Okay, or if you go to a place where everybody talks softly and everybody moves slowly and all that, so you will also get the cue and you will follow in the same way. You try to synchronize with everybody. So it is this part here, this hippocampus here, that regulates, our behavior. Okay, yeah. So then you have the other parts of the brain. This is the thalamus. Then you have the hypothalamus, which regulates. This one regulates your whole body, things that are not within your control. These are the automatic things like your body temperature and all this. Yeah. Then you have the pituitary gland, which secrete hormones, and these hormones will go to the rest of the body and works on different organs. So it has a coordination kind of function. Yeah. And then after that, this green little structure here is another gland called the pineal gland. So this one allows us to actually interact with the external stimuli, the day and the night changes and all that, and tells our body when to sleep, when to stay awake. And all these are the regulatory part of the brain. So when we use the Dr. Habdank's GPT abundance program, so the program here, all these frequencies that I mentioned earlier, those brain waves, they are actually communicating and influencing, okay, the functions of all these different parts of the brain. Okay, yeah. So now, just now we talked about the thalamus here, and when the thalamus are stimulated, they also produce two types of chemicals. One is called the dopamine, and the other one is called the serotonin. So these two chemicals, they are important. So they are the happy hormones. They control your mood. So when you wake up in the morning, whether you feel happy or sad, whether you want to get out of the bed or not, okay? Yeah, so these are the chemicals that is at work. Okay, whether you want to give up doing something or continue doing something, whether you are happy, you feel rewarded and motivated, it is actually the thalamus. Okay, the thalamus that is secreting, okay, control the secretion of this kind of hormones. Okay, so now you look at all these things here really has a lot to play with your success. Okay, yeah, your ability to work, to function, whether you want to work, whether you're motivated to charge, okay, and to set bigger dreams and to work for that. All this has to do with some of these chemicals that are being secreted in the brain. Yeah. Okay. So now let's see how these brain waves affect us. Okay. And therefore, how then it is going to translate to our performance at work. Okay, how it's going to translate to whether we get our promotions or not. Yeah. And how it's going to help us to make more money. Okay. All right. Now, I gave a few functions, a few benefits. Of course, this list is not exhaustive. I select those that are more closely related to our topic today, which is abundance and prosperity. So I do not talk so much about the benefits of these brain waves for health. Okay. Now, one of the very important thing, now you see when the program starts is sleep related. Okay, it will be the delta, the theta, the epsilon. These are sleep related frequencies. Okay, so now we look at the sleep cycle. This is a typical 8-hour sleep cycle that you see over here. So we drift off into many of these cycles here. Now, when the delta and the theta here are required, okay, to put us into this stage of deep sleep. Okay, you may use it in the day, the program, it does not matter, but the frequencies are there. And when you use it at night, when you sleep, you will find that you go into deep sleep. And when you wake up, you feel so well rested. Okay, restorative rest. And if you're well rested at night, what happens is you feel energetic. You feel ready to bounce off the bed and go to work, go to school, okay, or to start your day. All right. So, so you can actually compare your sleep, because most of the time we drift into just very light sleep and we seldom go into deep sleep. Now, during the deep sleep is also where the tissues, the body, your health is being repaired. So there is a restoration of your physical health as well as boosting of your immune function. But I'm not going to focus on that, okay? So when you go into deep sleep, why do we need it? Actually, there are some school of thought that says that we sleep because we need to dream and to go into the reset and the detox and all that. Now, when we sleep, it gives us a chance to actually access into our subconscious mind. Okay, now, when we talk about money and success, some of us have negative imprints about money and success. Okay, so for example, although the conscious mind may say that I want to make a lot of money, but subconsciously it's going to play a different story that tells us that, okay, if you are rich, what will happen? People will come and borrow money from you, loan money from you, and all those things. Yeah, so that is one negative association. So sometimes you may see that parents fight over money, okay, during a divorce and all that. So you relate money to stress, okay, or you relate money to debts, okay, if you grow up in this kind of environment. Okay, so some of you may feel success. Okay, when you are success, you're actually quite lonely. Okay, when you are successful, when you look at your father, okay, CEO of some company, they're so successful, but they're so busy, they don't have time for the family. Okay, so they have this kind of association with money and success. So although your conscious mind may be striving for all these, but the subconscious will cause you, no, I do not want that. So it negates all these things that you're trying to push forward with. Okay, so now if we're able to access the subconscious, which is the period where you have the alpha waves. Okay, just now I mentioned that there are two periods naturally in our day, in the morning before you get up, and at night before you drift off to sleep. These are the two periods where your brain has a lot of alpha, and alpha waves are very good for reprogramming all these limiting beliefs. Okay, so you can actually override all this and change the story in your subconscious. Okay, yeah, so you can actually use it to do the manifestation. So what you do is when you run the program like this, so don't move around and do a lot of other things. This is the time where you can actually run the program, sit down and think through what are the new beliefs that you want to do with regards to your relationship with money and with success, okay, or with abundance. Okay, what is the intention that you want to manifest? Okay, so sit down, take about 10-15 minutes to just do that. Okay, all right, so that's one way of using it. Now, when you go into the subconscious, that is also the time where you can tap on your intuitive power. Okay, so you will find that while you're using all this, it may not be the first session, but repeatedly as you keep using it, you can actually recognize and know your own talents, your true potential more and more. You become clearer and clearer what you want to do. Okay, so some of us may be doing certain work that is not really our true self. You know, for example, in the Asian society, okay, or last time we feel that, okay, if you become a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, and all that, you can make a lot of money. And some of us are driven into certain kind of jobs because of preconceived ideas, because of the culture that we are in. So therefore, we landed in work industry, jobs that are not truly compatible with our potential. Okay, so as you use this, you will start to realize, become clearer and clearer about who you are, what you truly want. And sometimes it may actually direct you towards making certain decisions or align your the work that you do closer and closer to your potential. Work opportunities may come to you. People may come and offer you jobs. Okay, hang on. Okay, so job opportunities may come to you. Yeah, so people may come and offer you something, or people may say something and you realize that, hey, those are actually good things that you can actually incorporate into your life. So you will be guided. Okay, you will have more intuition. Okay, so you start to begin to listen more to your inner self rather than just to your logical self. Okay, yeah, so visualization, manifestation, these are the same, where you can actually sit down. Okay, it need not be a meditative posture if you do not believe in that. So basically is to quiet yourself and to see yourself, your life, whatever that you want to manifest into your reality, to have it very, very clear in your mind, okay, to feel it. Yeah, what it will be like when you achieve something or when you have whatever that you want to manifest. Okay, so this is what you can do while you are actually running the program. Okay, now just now we talked about the amygdala and the part where the emotions, the instinctive emotions, the depression, the fear, the anxiety, and all that is actually controlled. Trauma, all this is actually controlled by the amygdala. So these brain frequencies will calm down all this. Yeah, so if you have crazy thoughts, monkey thoughts that fly all over the place, and you can't think properly. So when you run this program, you will find that your mind is calm. So all these crazy wild thoughts, negative thoughts, and all that will disappear. It will clear out. So when you don't have all these noises in your mind, you find yourself calm, relaxed, you're more rational instead of making impulsive decision. Okay, you will be making rational decision. Okay, so this could be about the money that you have. So some of you may want to invest your money or may want to think how you want to spend all this kind of money. Okay, so when you are rational, when you're not affected by greed, when you're not affected by all the different noises, the risks and all those things, when you are calm and rational, you will be able to make a better decision so that you can actually preserve your wealth rather than invest carelessly in mediums or in the forms that may cause you to lose money. Okay, that's one. Now, when you are relaxed and calm and all that, you do not need to do your retail therapy. Okay, so that is where you will spend and buy and all that just to feel good or to relieve stress. Okay, so these are some of the ways that, okay, by running a program like that, it gives you a lot of inner calm, inner peace, reduce your stress and your anxiety for work. So you can even use it either in the day while you're at work or even at the end of a long stressful day. When you go back, you want to just relax, you can just run it. Okay. All right. Now, if you're using it while you are at work, while you are doing the project itself, okay, when you are in a meeting, having a discussion, having ideation, brainstorming, that is very good time for you to use the program because, okay, it will cause you to have innovative thoughts, insights, thinking out of the box. So it may not be there and then, because if you use it regularly, okay, every day or every other day and all that, so all these frequencies will still be active and playing out in your brain. Okay, so you'll find ideas. I get lots of ideas while I'm bathing or while I walk in the park and all that, a lot, like a fountain of ideas one after another will just surface. Okay, so sometimes it can help you to connect different ideas. Okay, so we get stuck, you know, in a company. If you are facing certain situation, if you are having problems with partners, with clients and all that, if things are in a deadlock, and if previously you cannot see how to solve the situation, okay, so what happened is now when you're using this, it may actually, you know, suddenly give you a solution to see a possibility to get out of the situation. Okay, and you may even be able to connect different ideas together and then have more imagination. Yeah, so you start to see things from different angles, and therefore the way you solve problems may be different than in the past. All right. Now, it may also help you in learning, getting new skills. For example, now there is so many things that is all AI, uh, uh, technology and all that. So we have to learn all these new skills. Using Healy and MagHealy and all that is all part and parcel of all the new skills that we have to learn. Yeah. So when you're learning how to operate your Healy and MagHealy, you can actually use this as well, because it will also help you when you sit down and do your planning, do your goal setting, all this. So run it. Okay, just vibrate it and do all this planning. Yeah, so it makes you more flexible. It makes you open to accept ideas, okay, solutions, okay, things that you have not been able to see before or are resisting. So suddenly you find yourself, hey, you're open. Yeah, so you're open. Now, the other one is communication. Okay, communication one is when you are relaxed, when you're comfortable, okay, you're able to communicate more clearly. So let's say you are doing presentations to your clients, to your bosses. Okay, if you're nervous, okay, or if you're afraid of being judged and all that. So all these things, your amygdala that gives you the instinctive behavior will start to play out all the nervousness, okay, all the trauma, okay, and a lot of other things that actually disrupt you while you're trying to do your communication and your presentation. Now, one thing you will notice that while you're running this program, let's say while I'm doing a talk like this and I'm running the talk like that, your mind, your thoughts becomes very clear. Now, all the noises will actually, you know, be swept aside and your mind is crystal clear. All right. So when you do your communication, okay, so it will be clear. People will start to understand you and say, well, okay, this is suddenly what happened to you. Yeah. So you are like a new person, or they suddenly see your talent and all that. So your bosses will start to notice you. Your client will start to think more highly of you. So you are calm, you're approachable, you are able to form collaboration, you know, people are able to approach you, you know. So all these will start to actually elevate you at your respective places. Okay? Yeah. So when your mind is clear, you won't be so convoluted in your communication. Yeah. Okay. Now, the last one is to improve your productivity and your efficiency. Now, sometimes when you're in a work job situation for too long, after 30 years, 20 years, you feel fatigued, you feel burnt out. Now, just now I said about the thalamus. So when the thalamus is stimulated, it actually produces what? It actually produces the alpha waves. Okay, it produces the dopamine and the serotonin. So it's going to control your mood. It's going to help you to bring your passion back. You will start to see your work, your job in a very different manner. Okay, so it will bring back the love that you have for your work. So you're going to start to feel motivated. Yeah. So be it building a business, be it working in an office, working for someone, your own business, you're freelancing, anything. Okay. Even if you are a homemaker and you are working at home doing all the chores. Okay. So you'll find your whole attitude towards what you're doing starts to change. Okay. Yeah. So you will enjoy it. You will discover ways to do things faster, more effortless, and you become very, very engrossed in your work. So turn it on, play it, okay, vibrate it while you are doing your work. Okay, you will see the difference. Okay, now the flow state, the alpha waves are the one that it will put you into a state of flow. Okay, the beta and the gamma are the ones that will help you with all the higher order thinking skills. Okay, so the alpha waves will allow you to feel good. Now, beyond all these brain waves that we talk about, there is the rest, which is above 200. So the brain waves was 0.5 to 200. So between 200 to 20,000 hertz or 20 kilohertz. These are called the audible range. Okay, they may not be brain waves, but they could be musical notes. Okay, or sometimes they call it solfeggio frequencies. They could be light colors, frequencies of colors and all that. Okay, so they will range from 2 to 1, then it will go in this sequence here. All right, all the way until 15.7 kilohertz. So audible means our human ear can hear them. Okay, now after the audible range, you will see that the numbers will become 21.9, 42, and all this, all the way until 919 kilohertz. So the high range, high frequency range, which is above 20,000, okay, these are inaudible. Inaudible means they are there, the sound is there, but our ears cannot hear. Maybe the animals can hear, but human ears cannot hear. All right, so now why are these important? Why are they there? Now, these are research done by a group of Koreans. You know, why do people feel so relaxed when they go to the beach? Okay, to watch the sunrise, to watch the sunset, just by listening to the sound of waves, it actually helps you to calm down and become very relaxed. So they did the experiment and they found out that the waves, okay, actually produces two different types of frequency. One type is the one that we can hear, you know, when the water come out of the waves of the sea, hit against the sandy beach. That is the what you call the low frequency component. Okay, now besides this, there is another set of frequencies that our ears are not hearing, but they are there in the waves itself. Okay, so what they found is that just by listening to the natural sound of the wave, our brain starts to produce more alpha wave and it will start to decrease the beta wave. Now, beta wave or the beta frequency is the one that you need to do work when you're in an alert state. Alpha wave is when you are drifting into sleep. Okay, that dreamy kind of sensation. Okay, so just by listening to that, your sense of alertness will drop and then your calmness, your serenity will increase. So that's why it's so pleasurable just sitting by the seaside and listening to waves. So because of the frontal lobe here, it actually reduces the activity. So it brings down your state of alertness. So this is one report, you know, by the Koreans. Now, the other report is they did an experiment on the sound produced by these kind of musical instruments, the gamelan. Okay, so this is by a group of Japanese scientists. Okay, and this is what they do. So they also found that this kind of devices, there are two types of frequencies that's produced when you play the musical instrument. Okay, one is the high frequency component, which our ears cannot hear. We call this the inaudible frequency. And then there is another type, which is the low frequency component, which our ears can hear. And that's the music that we hear from the musical instrument. Okay, the high frequency is the one that our ears don't hear, but it's actually emitted at the same time. Okay, so they found that it actually stimulates the thalamus. It stimulates the thalamus. Okay, yeah, the brain stem as well. CBF is cerebral brain flow. So I'm going to use their results to show you. So this is their experiment. Okay, you can listen to the music for like 3 minutes and then they see what happens to the brain. Okay, so they measure the activity in the brain. Now you can see here, they started with having 2 different groups of frequency. One group that is audible to our ears, and another group is the high frequency. So when they play these 2 types of frequency, one after another, okay, alternatingly, what happens is the brain activity. You see changes in the brain activity. The red and the black region here, these are the areas of the brain that get stimulated. Okay, yeah. Then after that, what they do is they turn off the audible and just leave the inaudible, the very high frequency component alone. You see the brain activity actually slows down. Okay, so this tells us that when we listen to, or when the brain receives audible and inaudible frequencies together as a mixture, it actually produces a hypersonic effect, or what we call a deep brain stimulation. The deep brain is where? That is the thalamus, right inside the brain, not the outer part, but the thalamus, which is inside. Okay, so there is stimulation of the thalamus. Okay, so just to remind you, this part here is the thalamus. Yeah. Okay, so when the thalamus is stimulated, what happens? It produces alpha waves. Alpha waves. So these are their results to show that there is a significant amount of alpha waves that is produced. And this part here, when it's red and all that, so the alpha waves are being emitted. Now, alpha waves is the one that gives you the state of flow. When you become so engrossed in your work, it makes you calm, it makes you relax, okay, keep you positive and engrossed in the work. I mean, time flies. You're doing something, okay, and suddenly 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours have gone by and you don't even realize it because you enjoy it so much. And the other thing is it's going to increase blood flow to the brain. So your brain tissues is going to get more oxygen, more nutrients, so it will be able to produce more energy, so it will be able to function even more. All right, so you will feel alert, your brain will work very fast, okay? So you become smarter, okay? And at the same time, you feel happy and motivated because it actually produces more dopamine for you. All right, so this is how we are affected. So as we become better, as our brain becomes better, so naturally your work, all this is going to improve. Your business is going to improve because of the wiser decision, the better decision that you're going to make. Okay, the more effective time management, be able to do more within a day than to feel tired, sleepy, and unmotivated. These are all the things, okay, the behavior that cause us not to become successful. Okay, so you start to acquire all these successful habits. So wear it when you are in a meeting with your bosses, when you are meeting your clients. Okay, so you can either use the coil or you can use the electrodes. Run it. Okay, it's about 1 hour plus. So run it before and run it during while you're meeting them. Okay, so that your brain will turn and churn very, very fast when you are engaged with them. Okay, so now let's move on to the MagHealy. Okay, so if you have turned on the Atmosphere Prosperity Program, you will see again numbers like this. So you will see 777. Okay, so this is for spiritual growth, for removing energetic blockages. So to help us access our intuitive power, our decision making. Then you will be seeing frequencies like 888. The Chinese love this kind of number. So these are actually numbers that is related to financial success, wealth. Okay, it will help you to amplify your intentions. Okay, easier to manifest wealth and prosperity if you are thinking about it while you're running the device. Okay, so 999 hertz as well. So this will help you to release the old patterns, the old beliefs that are unhelpful, unsupportive about you and your relationship with money and wealth and all that. Okay, so it opens up a lot of opportunities for you. You will find yourself changing, okay, bit by bit, the more you use it. All right. So other numbers that you will see, I won't go through all of this in that detail. You will find that at certain part of the program, okay, the same frequencies will repeat. So this is actually the device actually detect the frequencies that are lacking from you, and therefore it is boosting certain frequencies for you. Okay, so you will have 888, you will have you may not have whatever that you see here because it is quantum analyzed frequencies, so it will actually depend on individuals, so you may get a different set of frequencies. So if you see 108, you can actually check. Now you have ChatGPT and you can check what are the frequencies are for if you are interested. Okay, so these are frequencies to ground you, to help you feel relaxed, focus, clarity, and to help you to connect to the bigger universe. All right, 888, I won't mention again. Then this one here, you will see, let's say 139, the root chakra. So the chakra, when it's blocked, okay, cause you to feel very insecure, unstable, and you are always thinking about how to survive. So by unblocking the root chakra and all that, that is where you feel abundance. So if you feel that your life is threatened, you can't feel the abundance, you feel scarcity, you feel lack, you hold on to every single cent and dollar that you have. Okay, but when your root chakra is unblocked, you feel grounded, safe, and that is where you can start to become generous. Okay, you start to see that there are so many opportunities out there. All right, so no one is actually limited. Then you have 494. Okay, this is emotional stability, to remove all the fear and anxiety that you may have about money. And then 866 is spirituality, intuition, and then all that, because that is where the source of the wealth, okay, is for us to actually bring our energy high enough to connect spiritually to the source of prosperity. Then you have 639. Okay, 639 works on the heart chakra. Okay, so that we have love, harmony with our relationship. Now, how can you perform at work in your business if your family is in chaos? Yeah, so if you're not having a good relationship with your spouse, with your children, with your in-laws, your parents, and all that, you can't possibly have peace of mind to focus. Yeah, so it also creates the balance, so that when you use prosperity, you're not always thinking about prosperity in terms of money and wealth alone. So prosperity is also your prosperity in your relationship with people. So it makes us very balanced, not skewed towards just money. Okay, all right. So it helps to remove your blockages that's related to fear, self-doubt. And then again, you see the 888 appear again. Yeah, so there's a lot of 888 when you play this. So 852 is for the third eye chakra, your intuition, your wisdom, how you use your money that you earn. Okay, yeah, so your communication and your spirituality. Okay, so you see that all these programs here makes a person very well balanced. Okay, when we are achieving our abundance and our prosperity, and that is what I like. Okay, now to bring you through the whole cycle, you'll see that there's a lot of frequencies. So what I want you to see is actually the pattern and the trend, whether it's in Habdank or whether it's in this prosperity program, you see the same trend. The first part will be all the audible frequencies. After the audible frequencies, these are the high frequency range, the inaudible frequency. So it will be alternating between audible, inaudible, and if you run it long enough, it will go into the second cycle, which comes back to audible frequency again, and then the inaudible frequency, and then the third cycle back to audible frequency. So audible, inaudible, audible, inaudible. So the alternating combination of audible, inaudible do what? It do the deep brain stimulation of the thalamus so that we produce more and more alpha waves. So it's stimulating different parts of the brain. All right. Okay. So when you run, you will be seeing a different set of numbers from all this because of the QAM. So when you run the device, don't leave it there. You know, there are people who run the prosperity program at home, and then after that they drive out and then they go to work and then they leave the MagHealy at home. Okay, so the MagHealy frequency is supposed to interact with you. So when you run it, put it within the range that your body can receive. Okay. All right. So it will be working on you. So you will be the one benefiting from it. Okay. So a lot of people ask where to place the MagHealy. Okay. So a lot of people ask this. Yeah. And I've come to realize that it's not so much of where you place it near to you. That is the most important thing. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not the expert in placement. Okay, so but based on science, okay, it is believed that the magnetic energy flow north to south based on the North Pole and the South Pole, that is how the magnetism flow, the magnetic field flow in the entire Earth. Okay, then electric is always perpendicular to the magnetic field. So therefore, the electrical field is coming from perpendicularly from the east to west. Okay. So therefore, I think earlier Marcus Shoemaker did mention that to place it in the northeast direction where these two will actually meet. All right. Okay. So you can consider that. Personally, I am not that particular about all these directions. I just make sure that I place it within reach to my body so that my body can receive that. Now, there are many school of thoughts about placement. If you are in the Chinese community and when they talk about the feng shui, okay, it can be very complicated because they will say that, no, every year you got to recalculate the direction. Okay, and some may say that, okay, it all depends on your zodiac, it depends on your natal or your birth chart to find where is the best position for you. So I find that these are complicated. Okay, I'm not the expert to advise this. So you seek the help of your own expert resources. Okay, so for me, I emphasize more on the condition of their space. Okay, uncluttered, remove all your rubbish. Take this Chinese New Year as a time and opportunity to clear all this rubbish, create a space that is clean, okay, where the energy and the air can actually flows very nicely and comfortably. Okay, so you can bring it to the office, place it at your workstation. Okay, if you work in a group, when you're having a meeting, brainstorming, ideation, this is the best time to just put the MagHealy there and everybody can benefit at the same time. Okay, now you can use prosperity in combination with some other atmosphere program as well. I am very particular about the energetic space. So even before I run prosperity, this is what I'll do. I'll run energy clearing first. So I'll leave it there to run. Let's say this is my workplace. So I'll leave it there to run for 1 or 2 hours. If I have guests, after the guests leave, I will clean the space. If I were to meet somebody at, let's say, Starbucks, Coffee Bean, or any other offices and all that, I will go a bit earlier, run the energy clearing so that the energy that is left behind previously by other people are removed. Okay, then after that, you can run the prosperity program so that while you are working there, while you are communicating with people, so all these frequencies will be helping us in terms of our mind so that people will not get angry, they won't fight, but they will be very rational, they'll talk calmly, and they will be able to come to a more collaborative kind of intention. Okay, so if you're working at your workstation, you can just run either the prosperity, or you can alternate the prosperity with creativity. If you need to do brainstorming, if you need to do ideation, okay, or creative work, designing work, okay, if you want to focus on your work or do very high order thinking, problem solving, planning and all that, then you can use the office. Okay, so for me, when I'm giving a presentation, okay, when I am talking to clients, sometimes I'll use the coherence. So coherence is for my body, mind, and soul to be all aligned. So I like it when I'm all aligned, okay? Because then when I talk, I'm very clear about what I want and what is the message that I want to deliver. Okay, so this is how I would use prosperity in combination with everything else. Okay, now, if you have something, an intention that you want to manifest, so I would like to share this with you, because some will say that I tried to manifest, but it does not happen. So rather than being obsessed with where to place your MagHealy, I think these are the other aspects that we have to consider while you're using the prosperity program. First, your intention must be very clear. You must know what you want to manifest. You don't just run the prosperity program with nothing in mind. Okay, then you said nothing happens because you are not asking, then nothing is delivered. So first, have your intention and know what you want. You must also at the same time work at it, put in the effort, not run it, think about it and hope that, you know, magic will happen. No. Have a sense of gratitude, what you have, okay? All the positive feelings, love, yeah, urgency. Urgency means how often do you actually think about your intention? Okay, how intense is that feeling? Living it out, visualizing it, yeah, and all your positive feelings as well. So what happens is each of these carry a certain wave. All right. So intention is one wave, effort is one wave, gratitude is one wave, urgency is one wave, your feelings is one wave. So if they are all aligned, that means if they are all coherent, okay? So now it's no longer the law of attraction, but they call it the law of coherence. How coherent are all these 5 elements here? If they're all coherent, all your 5 waves is going to stack up together and they are going to be amplified. Huge. Your energy will shift. All right. But on the other hand, if you have good intention, oh, very urgent and all that, you are lazy, you don't plan, you don't do, and then you keep having a lot of anger, a lot of jealousy, a lot of negative feelings, you are not grateful for what you have and all that. So if every day in your mind you are vibrating all this, they will be out of phase. Okay, so this will be this, and then this one here will be this. So what happens when they all stack up together? It becomes weaker. So you actually nullify everything and therefore nothing happens. Okay? Yeah. So these are the ones that will really help you to manifest your reality in a much stronger way. Okay, so what are the possible outcomes after using this? Okay, you may actually see yourself, your client database will grow. Okay, you actually sign bigger and bigger contracts. We have somebody in Penang who signed a 7-figure contract. And when another business partner, they run the MagHealy at the expo. Okay, and they noticed that, you know, expo, they got different booths. So their booth was so crowded with people. And then the other booth that is in their neighboring location are empty. And all these people are so curious. They come over to peep and to see what's going on here. All right. So it actually draws people, yeah, towards your shop. your business, your location, your office, and all that. It brings you resources. Now, sometimes how do I manifest? If I have a certain need, certain resource that I need, okay, be it somebody who is doing IT or a book I need to read, or somebody with the resource that I need, I just need to think about it. Then run the program as you think about it, okay? Then somehow, somewhere, you just meet someone who happens to have that resource and introduce you to people who have that resource for you, okay? Then promotion, you might get the job promotion, your pay increment, lucky draws, okay? I've won lucky draws. There are people who have won Toto 4Ds, all that. Okay, if there are legal issues where you're stuck with, so when you run all this, so it helps to remove the obstacles, help you to resolve things easier. So the other person previously, if it's a deadlock, now when you run this, okay, or when you run while you are doing the discussion, it may actually help you to remove the deadlock. You will open up more channels, you have more opportunities, people will come and give you offers, jobs, and all that. More ideas. I mentioned earlier, fountains of ideas just flowing out from you. You get more love, you get more generous, you're more willing to give, you're more willing to share, okay? And you're more willing to collaborate with people because you don't see them as competition, but everyone has something to offer, and therefore you become more collaborative in nature. So how long before you see? Sometimes it's immediate while you're running it, you are actually experiencing it itself. So within 1 to 3 days, usually I notice changes keep on taking place. Yeah. So, but it's not just running one program and then for the rest of the month, you do nothing. You actually have to sustain the energy by running these two programs regularly. So besides these two programs, you can actually complement it with the coach module, the I Ching, and the aura as well, so that your energy will keep shifting. So whatever that you want is of higher energy level. So if you want to achieve it, you have to keep raising your energy towards that level so that you can reach it and then hold it. So many of us can earn the money, but can you hold the money? Can you keep the money is another thing. So if your energy is low, the money comes, it will U-turn back, okay? And it will leave you, okay? Yeah, through all sorts of ways and means. So we want to hold the money, and that's how you become prosperous. So use these two in combination because your client, they do not have the Healy yet. So therefore, when you place the MagHealy in the meeting and all that, the MagHealy will also be influencing your bosses, your clients towards the favorable and desirable direction. Okay, so yeah, so that's how we use these two in combination. You will definitely see results. Okay, yeah. So if you use it with the right intention, with the right purpose and all that. So use these two, they are complementary to each other. Yeah, so having both will be good. Yeah. So next week will be Petra's session. I will see you 2 weeks later. And then I will be talking about aura. How do we use aura to actually enhance your career, your relationship, your work, and your relationship with money? Okay, so I think there are some questions. So I will stop the PowerPoint here and look at whether there are any questions or not. Any questions? Dun, dun. Okay. Yes. Okay, Julie asked whether the recording will be shared at the end of the month. I think Cassandra, the company, will collate all the recordings for that month and it will be sent to you through your email. So from Healy, so look out for all the emails. Yeah, so all the links will be given. So if someone doesn't have MagHealy, can we run the MagHealy program? That means the prosperity program. Yes. In the Healy Blue app, there is 3 resonance analysis. The first resonance is for all the Healy programs. The second resonance is actually for the MagHealy. But when you analyze, if you choose your name and if you were to analyze, what happens is it may not come out because it will get the top 5, correct or not, of that 12 programs. Okay, so what happens is the top 5 may not have the prosperity program. So therefore, if it does not appear, what you can do is you analyze again until the manifest, or sorry, the prosperity program appear in the atmosphere 1. All right, then after that, you can do the vibration. Okay, and that will be through the bioinformation field. But it will be better to actually have the physical device, okay, place it on the table next to you and vibrate the program directly from there. Then, okay, somebody, okay, same prosperity program, okay. Please explain something from Resonance Plus Healy for manifestation. Okay, for the Healy Dr. Habdank GPT Abundance Program, it is not found in any of the edition. This is a special program that is only found in the expert area. So it is a free program. Sometimes it's given as a free program on certain months. It comes with the promotions. Yeah. Okay. So for the MagHealy, you don't have the Dr. Habdank. MagHealy will be the prosperity program in the atmosphere. Okay. So, I see that many of you still do not have the MagHealy. Okay, it's time to manifest a MagHealy. All right, so you can get the MagHealy in the reward system. I think if you were to refer a few clients, you will get a free MagHealy. So make sure that you don't lose the opportunity. Okay, hallucination. Okay, I will not answer this because it's not related to our topic here for Stephanie. So we can handle it outside in private. Elaine. Okay. Okay, let's see. So so many people asking for the recording. Okay, hang on. Dr. Habdank. Okay, I've answered that. Can we use together this device with another frequency therapy product? I can't advise if it's some other forms of frequency therapy. So because I do not know and I'm not the expert in those devices. So this is where you have to do your own due diligence and do the comparison. Yeah. Okay. So but you can of course continue to use the Healy and MagHealy. Okay. Lecture on sleep. Okay. It will be along the way. Then, okay, how to get the Dr. Habdank from India? That I think the company will have to answer that. Okay. All right. Okay. No more questions. All right. So, okay. I thank you so much for staying with me all the while here, all the way until now. Okay. So, see you again next week, Thursday, 5 o'clock Singapore time and 7 p.m. AEST. All right. Thank you and bye-bye.